The grandeur of King Charles III's coronation captivated millions, but it was Princess Charlotte who left everyone stunned. The young royal's deliberate actions during the ceremony spoke volumes and drew attention to an unexpected family dynamic. While the world focused on the king and queen, Charlotte's poise, defiance, and carefully measured gestures hinted at deeper tensions within the monarchy. What initially seemed like a serene display of tradition quickly evolved into a dramatic moment that dominated conversations behind palace doors. What followed truly shocked everyone, especially Queen Consort Camilla. Westminster Abbey once again became the stage for history, hosting the coronation of King Charles III. Beneath its towering Gothic arches, centuries of tradition unfolded through gilded robes, sacred oaths, and the resonant sound of 1,000 voices in hymn, paying homage to a legacy that has endured for over 1,000 years. Yet, amid the splendor, subtle tension simmered, hinting at shifting dynamics within the royal family. At the heart of the ceremony was King Charles, calm and reflective as he finally stepped into his destiny. Beside him was Queen Consort Camilla, whose presence symbolized a delicate balance between past controversies and her new role as a monarch. Camilla carried the weight of her title with confidence, but her interactions throughout the day suggested a quiet determination to assert her authority, something that subtly rippled through the proceedings. The Wales family presented a picture of unity. Prince William supported his father while keeping a watchful eye on his children, and Catherine exuded her usual grace, her role as the family's stabilizing force evident in every gesture. Yet, those close enough to observe noticed an unspoken tension between Catherine and Camilla. Their exchanges were brief and cordial but hinted at underlying complexities. This nuanced dynamic played out in whispers and glances, creating a charged atmosphere that even the most polished smiles could not fully mask. Amid these undercurrents, Princess Charlotte emerged as a pivotal figure. At just 8 years old, she captured the attention of onlookers with her composure. Dressed in an elegant white gown and sparkling tiara, Charlotte looked every inch a royal, commanding admiration with her presence and actions. Yet it was her understated presence that truly stood out. She followed her family's lead, but something was striking about the way she carried herself. The princess seemed reserved, thoughtful, and keenly aware of her surroundings. Her attention was focused not only on the ceremony but also on the interactions happening around her. It was clear she understood the significance of her role. What the public couldn't yet grasp was how her poised silence would soon transform into an unspoken statement of strength. A moment was simmering that would shock everyone. The grandeur of the coronation was an intricate dance of history and modernity, but the day also reflected the evolving relationships within the royal family. As Camilla took her place beside Charles, her interactions with Catherine grew increasingly pointed. At one moment during the service, Camilla appeared to gesture sharply toward Charlotte. The exchange was fleeting but drew subtle reactions from those nearby, including Catherine, who maintained her composure while watching closely. The Wales children, Charlotte, George, and Louis, were central to the day's narrative. They represented the future of the monarchy. Prince George played a key role as a page of honor, while Charlotte's quiet strength was a stark contrast to the grandeur around her. Though she said little, her presence left onlookers anticipating what might unfold. As the ceremony continued, the tension beneath the polished surface became harder to ignore. Camilla's attempts to assert authority over the younger generation of royals became obvious, but it was Charlotte's subtle defiance, a glance, a pause, and a moment of unbending poise, that marked her as a force to be reckoned with. The day was all about the monarchy's resilience, but it also revealed the fault lines within its carefully curated image. Camilla's gestures, Catherine's restraint, and Charlotte's quiet strength painted a picture of a royal family navigating its future. Charlotte seemed to understand the stakes better than anyone. She wasn't just a participant in the coronation, she was a young royal making her mark. Camilla's history of conflict within the royal family has been well documented. Since joining the royal family as queen consort, her journey has been marked by controversies and tension. Though she now occupies one of the most prominent roles in the monarchy, her path has been anything but smooth. From her early relationship with Charles to ongoing power struggles within the royal household, Camilla's role has often been a source of conflict. Her introduction into the royal spotlight was already fraught with controversy. Her relationship with Charles, which began while he was still married to Princess Diana, cast her as a villain in one of the most sensationalized love triangles in modern history. Diana's famous remark in a 1995 interview, "There were three of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded," cemented Camilla's image as an outsider. The public backlash was immediate and fierce, and many still see Camilla as the woman who disrupted the fairy tale marriage between Charles and Diana. Even after Diana's tragic death, Camilla's presence in Charles's life continued to stir resentment among some members of the public and the royal family. It wasn't until 2005, when Charles and Camilla officially married, that she began to take on a more formal role within the monarchy. Yet, the scars of those earlier years remained, and Camilla faced the challenge of earning acceptance not only from the public but also from within the royal household itself. In recent years, Camilla has been at the center of new tensions within the royal family, particularly involving Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Reports suggest that Harry has harbored lingering resentment toward Camilla for her role in his parents' failed marriage. In his memoir Spare, Harry described her as the other woman and accused her of using the media to rehabilitate her public image at the expense of others in the family. Camilla's perceived closeness to the British tabloids has also been a source of friction. Harry has alleged that Camilla strategically leaked stories to the press to bolster her position as the future queen consort. While these claims remain unverified, they have fueled speculation about behind-the-scenes rivalries and added to the already strained relationships within the royal family. Camilla's transition to queen consort after Charles's ascension has brought its own challenges, including apparent power struggles with other senior royals. As she steps into a role once occupied by beloved figures like Queen Elizabeth II, Camilla must navigate high expectations and deeply ingrained traditions. Her interactions with Catherine, Princess of Wales, have sometimes hinted at underlying tensions. Catherine's rising prominence as a future queen consort and her close connection to the younger generation of royals has positioned her as a symbol of modernity within the monarchy. In contrast, Camilla's more traditional approach and her association with past controversies have occasionally clashed with Catherine's image. Moments of subtle friction, such as the incident involving Princess Charlotte during the coronation, reflect the challenges of balancing these competing dynamics as the royal family attempts to modernize and stay relevant. Camilla's role has sometimes been at odds with the progressive direction championed by William and other younger royals. While Charles has made efforts to streamline the monarchy and embrace sustainability and diversity, Camilla's traditionalist tendencies have occasionally created friction. Her focus on preserving the monarchy's historical elements has been seen by some as a counterbalance to the younger generation's push for change. Her position as queen consort may be secure, but the challenges Camilla faces, both within the family and from the public, highlight the complexities of navigating a role that carries immense responsibility and scrutiny. As the monarchy continues to evolve, Camilla's ability to adapt and build bridges will play a critical role in shaping her future within it. Whether these conflicts diminish over time or persist as undercurrents remains to be seen, but they underscore the enduring pressures of life within the royal family. Amid the majestic atmosphere of Westminster Abbey, a single moment of tension cut through the pomp and ceremony. Queen consort Camilla was seated beside King Charles when she leaned slightly toward Catherine. Her subtle but pointed gesture toward Princess Charlotte sent ripples through the royal pews. Camilla's gesture was uncharacteristically overt. While her exact words were inaudible to most, Camilla's body language was unmistakable. She raised her chin and swept her hand toward Charlotte, expressing dissatisfaction with the young princess's behavior. Charlotte, however, gave no outward reaction and kept her hands neatly folded in her lap. Catherine's response, though subtler, was no less telling. She turned toward Camilla, maintaining an expression of quiet grace, but there was an unmistakable flicker of steel behind her eyes. Her posture straightened as though bracing herself, and her lips tightened ever so slightly. It was a fleeting moment, but one that spoke volumes about the dynamics at play. After all, Catherine is a mother, fiercely protective of her children. The surrounding royals noticed. Prince William's eyes darted briefly between the two women before returning to the ceremony. Prince George, unaware of the interaction, was focused on his ceremonial duties. Yet, for those watching closely, the tension between the Queen Consort and the Princess of Wales was undeniable, with Charlotte sitting quietly at its epicenter. This moment was more than just a fleeting scolding, it was a reflection of deeper power dynamics within the royal family. Camilla, still navigating her position as queen consort, appeared to assert authority in a way that might have been appropriate decades ago but felt misaligned with the modern monarchy. Her gesture was directed at Charlotte but seemed aimed at Catherine. If anything, it was a reminder of the hierarchy within the family. However, Catherine's calm, unflinching gaze spoke volumes about her refusal to be diminished or publicly corrected. Charlotte's role in this unfolding drama was equally fascinating. At just 8 years old, she neither reacted to Camilla's gesture nor looked to her mother for reassurance. Whether this was learned behavior from observing her parents or natural poise, it was clear that Charlotte was no ordinary child. Her silence in the face of the moment was deafening, setting the stage for her eventual quiet defiance that would shock everyone later in the day. This exchange inadvertently highlighted the shifting dynamics within the monarchy. As queen consort, Camilla carries the weight of tradition, but her interactions during the coronation revealed her struggle to balance this with the changing expectations of her role. Her apparent dissatisfaction with Charlotte, whether justified or not, felt out of step with the modern image the royal family strives to project. The moment also underscored the growing influence of the younger generation within the monarchy. Catherine and William have worked to raise their children with a balance of tradition and individuality. Charlotte's poised silence and Catherine's measured response reflected this approach, which contrasted sharply with Camilla's more traditional hierarchical stance. Though the scolding moment was brief, it became a defining point of the day and preempted Charlotte's later actions, which would carry a quiet but undeniable message of her own. While Camilla may have sought to correct or assert authority, the incident instead magnified the emerging strength of Catherine and her children as pivotal figures in the monarchy's future. All eyes were drawn to Princess Charlotte after her silent defiance in response to Queen Consort Camilla's earlier reprimand. Her reaction was not loud or confrontational, but calm, calculated, and undeniably powerful. In her quiet defiance, Charlotte shifted the narrative of the day, showing strength and maturity far beyond her years. As the royal family bowed to the king at designated moments, it was Charlotte's poised actions that stole the spotlight. She executed her bow to King Charles perfectly, but observers noticed her deliberate decision not to bow to Camilla. The moment was subtle but striking, made even more impactful by Charlotte's serene expression and unwavering posture. It was clear this was no oversight, it was a measured choice, a silent message delivered with remarkable composure. This small but bold act rippled through the grandeur of the event, with those seated nearby exchanging glances. Their reactions ranged from raised eyebrows to faint smiles of acknowledgement. Even Camilla seemed momentarily taken aback, her hand tightening on the edge of her robe and her eyes narrowing slightly as Charlotte's refusal registered. Charlotte's decision not to bow was a deeply symbolic act. The bow is a traditional gesture of deference that carries immense weight in royal ceremonies. For Charlotte to withhold it was a statement of self-possession. At just 8 years old, she demonstrated an acute understanding of the moment's gravity and used it to assert her independence without uttering a word. This was no tantrum or impulsive reaction, it was a carefully measured response, a quiet rebuttal to Camilla's earlier scolding. What made this act even more significant was the context. Charlotte's bow to her grandfather, King Charles, was executed with perfect grace. It signaled her respect for the monarch and the institution he represents. By contrast, her deliberate omission of Camilla spoke volumes about her ability to discern between roles and individuals. In one silent moment, Charlotte acknowledged the monarchy's traditions while subtly challenging its personal dynamics. The contrast between Charlotte's poise and the earlier tension between Camilla and Catherine further amplified the impact of her actions. While Camilla's scolding and Catherine's restrained response hinted at unresolved dynamics within the family, Charlotte's behavior offered a glimpse of the future, a generation of royals unafraid to balance tradition with individuality. Her decision not to bow to Camilla was more than a personal statement, it became a reflection of the evolving nature of the monarchy. In an institution defined by hierarchy and deference, Charlotte's silent defiance represented a subtle but profound shift. She showed that respect and tradition do not require blind obedience, and even the youngest members of the royal family can assert their agency. Camilla's earlier reprimand had been an attempt to assert authority, but Charlotte's response turned the tables. By refusing to bow, Charlotte shifted the power dynamic. Most of all, she reminded everyone that respect is earned, not demanded. She defended her own dignity and highlighted the growing influence of her mother, Catherine, whose quiet strength continues to redefine what it means to be royal. As the day progressed, Charlotte's quiet rebellion became the unspoken story of the coronation. Though no formal acknowledgement was made, the atmosphere among the royal family shifted. Camilla was outwardly composed but seemed more reserved. King Charles appeared to take note too, and his interactions with Charlotte during the rest of the day were marked by warmth and a hint of admiration. For the public, Charlotte's actions resonated deeply. They showed a new side of the monarchy, one that values grace and composure over unquestioning compliance. In her silence, Charlotte made a statement that words could not convey, proving that strength comes in many forms. As the royal family departed Westminster Abbey, the significance of Charlotte's actions lingered. For Camilla, the moment likely marked a realization that it's over for her. The unquestioned authority of the past was giving way to the nuanced leadership of the future. For Charlotte, it was the beginning of her journey as a young royal, with the strength and poise to shape her own legacy. For those watching, it was a moment that would not soon be forgotten, a quiet revolution led by an 8-year-old princess who broke her silence without uttering a word and reminded the world of the power of quiet defiance. Catherine, Princess of Wales, has long been regarded as a stabilizing force in the royal family. Her steady presence, diplomacy, and devotion to her children have cemented her as one of the monarchy's most reliable figures. Catherine sees her role as twofold, preserving royal tradition while preparing her children for a rapidly modernizing world. Her parenting style reflects this delicate balance. She instills in her children a deep respect for their royal duties while encouraging individuality and resilience. This approach was evident in Charlotte's composed demeanor during the coronation, particularly in her quiet defiance that would later capture the world's attention. Catherine's influence on Charlotte is unmistakable. Her composure was not accidental but the result of years of thoughtful guidance. Catherine has worked to ensure her children are not merely figureheads but well-rounded individuals capable of navigating the complexities of royal life. Charlotte's refusal to bow to Camilla while still bowing gracefully to King Charles was a testament to her mother's teachings: respect authority where it is due, but never at the expense of personal dignity. It's worth remembering that Princess Anne is also emerging as a quiet yet influential mentor to Princess Charlotte. For Charlotte, Anne's guidance offers an invaluable blueprint for navigating the complexities of public life while remaining grounded. It shone through in the moment in Westminster Abbey. Anne's extensive experience and her position as one of the hardest-working royals uniquely position her to advise Charlotte. Her ability to balance the demands of tradition with personal authenticity provides a framework that the young princess can emulate. With her pragmatic outlook, Anne has already imparted lessons on staying focused on the monarchy's purpose, avoiding unnecessary distractions, and prioritizing service above all else. Their shared connection as female royals navigating a male-dominated hierarchy adds depth to their relationship. Anne has quietly carved out a legacy of influence despite not being in the direct line of succession. This sets an inspiring example for Charlotte. Anne is helping Charlotte develop the skills and confidence to thrive in a rapidly modernizing monarchy, all while honoring the institution's enduring traditions. This was on full display in Charlotte's response during the coronation. Camilla, on the other hand, faces a whole set of challenges. As queen consort, she must assert her authority in a family that has seen her journey from controversy to the throne. Her role comes with inherent pressures. She must earn the respect of her stepchildren, integrate herself into the royal hierarchy, and maintain her position as Charles's closest confidant. Her interactions with Catherine and Charlotte during the coronation reflected these pressures. Her reprimand of Catherine and the gesture toward Charlotte seemed to stem from a desire to project control at all costs. But this incident also revealed the tension in Camilla's role. Unlike Catherine, whose parenting style fosters trust and collaboration, Camilla's approach appeared hierarchical and traditional. While likely intended to maintain order, it instead underscored the generational and ideological divide between herself and the Wales family. For Catherine, this incident was a moment of quiet vindication. As a mother, she has had to navigate the unique challenge of raising children under the unrelenting scrutiny of both tradition and the public eye. Her approach is grounded in emotional intelligence, relatability, and forward thinking, which stands in contrast to the more rigid structures of past generations. This subtle confrontation between Catherine and Camilla also speaks to a broader shift within the monarchy. The younger generation, led by William and Catherine, is redefining what it means to be royal. Their emphasis on relatability, mental health advocacy, and active parenting contrasts with the more formal, hierarchical traditions of Charles and Camilla's era. These differing philosophies often collide, as seen in the tension surrounding Charlotte during the ceremony. The incident also underscores the delicate balance Catherine must maintain as the future queen consort. She must navigate her relationships with senior royals like Camilla while safeguarding her children's individuality and dignity. This balancing act was on full display during the coronation. Catherine's composed reaction to Camilla's reprimand conveyed a refusal to engage in conflict. It was a masterclass in diplomacy and reinforced her role as a stabilizing force within the royal family. For Camilla, the coronation has highlighted the challenges of her position. As someone who entered the royal family later in life, she must navigate the complexities of step-family dynamics while asserting her authority as queen consort. Her interaction with Charlotte and Catherine during the ceremony revealed the tensions inherent in this role. While her intention may have been to uphold tradition, the execution risked alienating those who represent the future of the monarchy. The relationship between Catherine, Charlotte, and Camilla will continue to shape the monarchy. While tensions are inevitable, they also present an opportunity for growth and adaptation. Charlotte's poised response during the coronation demonstrated that the next generation is ready to embrace this challenge. It brought a fresh perspective to an institution rooted in history, and as the Wales family rises to prominence, their influence will contribute to reshaping the royal narrative. Princess Charlotte, with her quiet strength and ability to make a statement without words, embodies this transformation. Charlotte showed that the future of the monarchy lies in its ability to adapt and will be guided by individuals who balance respect for tradition with a vision for progress, representing a new generation of royals. As the second child of the Prince and Princess of Wales, Charlotte occupies a unique position within the royal hierarchy. Often referred to as a spare, her role is inherently different from that of her older brother, Prince George, who will one day ascend the throne. For Charlotte, this distinction offers both freedom and responsibility. She is not bound by the same level of expectation that comes with being the direct heir to the throne, but her position still carries significant influence. The coronation showcased her ability to navigate this delicate balance and highlighted her potential as a future leader in her own right. For the younger generation of royals, Charlotte's actions set a precedent. Her role in the coronation also highlighted the influence of her upbringing. The confidence she displayed during the event signaled that the next generation of royals will be well equipped to adapt to a rapidly changing world. Charlotte's position as a spare allows her to take on roles that complement her brother's path to the throne. While George will be the focus of tradition, Charlotte can explore opportunities to redefine what it means to be a royal in the 21st century. Her actions at the coronation demonstrated her ability to step into the spotlight when necessary while also showing the restraint and composure expected of a royal. This balance of leadership and discretion will be critical as she grows into her role within the family. The legacy Charlotte has begun shaping is not just about her individual actions, it is about the broader impact of her presence. Her quiet ability to make a statement without words resonates with a public increasingly drawn to royals who are relatable and authentic. In a world where the monarchy must continually justify its relevance, figures like Charlotte represent its future. For the royal family, Charlotte's actions underscore the importance of fostering individuality within its members. The days of rigid conformity are fading and are being replaced by an emphasis on adaptability and personal agency. Charlotte's behavior epitomized this shift. She adhered to the protocols of the ceremony but also found ways to express herself within those boundaries. This ability to balance tradition with individuality will be crucial as the monarchy seeks to remain relevant in an era of rapid social and cultural change. Charlotte's legacy is still in its infancy, but it already carries significant implications for the royal family. The younger generation is not content to simply inherit the status quo, they are determined to shape the monarchy in ways that reflect their values and vision. Charlotte may only be 8 years old, but her actions during this historic event prove that she is already a leader in the making. Do you see Charlotte as a future linchpin of the royal family? Share your thoughts with us in the comments, we'd love to hear. For now, we're done. Catch you in the next video.